Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina. And it is the Shorty for August.
Shorty,
Oh my God.
August. Shorty.
Can you believe,
Shorty.
like, I know that this just gets really repetitive to continue to do this every single month, but it really is like, we're heading into, I know we're at the height of summer, but really August for me is like, we're going to start easing into fall, you know, like we're easing into fall. How?
Yeah.
Truly how?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's not important.
It's time is a flat circle. Dude, things just keep happening too, and I just keep getting more tired. So that's life. That's
We should have by the time this episode comes out though, I think we'll have a VP pick.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
A Kamala VP pick. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm on pins and needles, really.
It really are
Truly.
a lot of good options. I don't think
There
that,
are.
you know,
Exciting whites.
yeah,
A lot of exciting whites to choose from.
crisp, dry whites.
This is
Oh my
a
goodness.
fresh white.
I think I'm a fan of Tim Walz so much because a lot of it's giving my Midwestern heart. Like, he just reminds me so much of people that I know from back home that I'm like, it's like comforting. I
Which
don't
is
know.
which is nice, and I think would be a smart thing to do whenever you have, because people feel some type of way
Cool
about
history
about
teacher.
California, you know.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
when people were throwing Newsom around, I was like, baby, that
fake.
cannot. We can't have
Definitely
two
not.
people from California.
No,
No.
legally you
People
ain't gonna
can't.
lose
work.
their shit.
Legally you can't. Number one, but yeah, number two, it's giving coastal elites.
Yes.
Coastal.
Well, okay. I wanted to talk to you guys about this trailer that came up on my TikTok, and I don't usually watch those. Like, I
Okay.
usually, I skip the ads.
Yes.
Because I feel like I've been getting more and more ads lately.
Yeah.
But this was for a new show that Wayne Brady is doing, and Wayne Brady came out as Pan a few years ago, which I thought was really.
Yeah, I didn't even hear that until
Yeah.
I saw the commercial too, but I wasn't paying too much attention. I just saw that he had said that, and I was like, "Huh, okay."
Yeah, it was a
Like,
few years ago. I remember when it happened, and there's just something about when people, like, I had a friend who I won't name on the podcast, but I had a friend who came out as gay on his 50th birthday. I went to his 50th birthday party, and I was like,
Wow.
it takes so much courage, because you've lived your
Yeah.
whole life this
Right.
one way under this kind of like, guise,
Pretense.
and then to
Yeah.
like come out and be able to live as your true self later in life, I think it takes a lot of courage. Not that I'm calling Wayne Brady old, but I am just saying,
No,
how
no,
cool for
but,
you to
yeah.
realize that about yourself.
Yeah.
And but the show isn't so much about that. It's about him and his ex. I think they're living in Hawaii now, and it's him, his ex-wife, her new husband, and him and his wife's daughter,
Oh.
and how they all like are best friends and they do everything together. And
That's
it's
what
an
I was
unusual
thought it
family
was.
setup,
No, I love that. I
Mhm.
love that. I've always loved the way that like Demi Moore and Bruce Willis
Right.
also like
Yes.
divorced and like still like maintained that family situation.
Yeah.
I think it's cool when you
Yeah.
prioritize that. And it was interesting to look at the comments, because in 2024, and you think that people are so progressive, and the majority of the comments were. But then, of course, you get people, and I'm like, what? Why are you choosing to live life this weird negative way? Where they're
Right.
like, what kind of man would allow another man to come in and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I don't know,
Jesus.
an emotionally secure, mature
Yes.
person.
That is so weird. And I'm glad that we're calling out like weird statements like that.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
I did see an article. I don't know if I want to bring this up, but they have been
Uh-oh.
doing studies on like the amygdalas of, let's just say, more conservative people are operating from a heightened fear response.
Well,
So-
you'd have to be to care this much about things that
That
are
don't-
ultimately inconsequential to your life.
truly.
Exactly.
That's actually
I can believe
I
that.
like knowing that. That actually
Mhm.
makes so much more sense to me, and it allows me to enter into conversations or whatever with a lot more compassion, because I'm
These
like, oh,
people
you're
are just terrified.
You're just
They're
scared.
just living their whole life scared, and just
I see it.
you know,
I see it. I think that honestly, the more segregated you are from certain people, you just believe what you've been told about those people. And so when you don't, that's a natural thing, is to fear the unknown, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why you always see it too in areas that are like, aren't cities, like, smaller towns.
They're more homogenous, I think.
Yes.
Is really what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and you fear where you're going to fall in the pecking order of society when things change drastically,
right.
or you feel like it's a drastic change, and I think that that's really where a lot of that comes from, is because maybe you've been, for these people who are in this comment section for Wayne Brady, it's like maybe you've been raised with this very specific idea about what masculinity is, and you've been striving for that idea of masculinity your whole life, and maybe you've made adjustments to your life, right, to hit those markers, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we're changing the rules, and you're like, oh no, what? I can't handle the rules being changed because I've been striving for this one thing this whole time, and instead of readjusting, you just hold on and you stay like really, really rigid. But that's not going to serve you in the long term. It can really, that's the other part of this, is when people hold to these very rigid beliefs, society progresses.
Yeah.
Like you're only hurting
it's gonna
yourself.
leave you, or
right. You're only hurting yourself by being so inflexible.
Well, and also like scarcity as an idea just feels like such a backbone of capitalism. You know what I mean? It's like somebody else getting rights doesn't take your rights away, dumb
That's exactly
weirdo.
right.
There's plenty enough to go around for everybody. And you bitching about somebody else getting to have an equal shot at the stuff that you also had an equal shot at, but were just too dumb and weird to take advantage of.
Exactly.
And no one's stopping you from living your life the way you want to live it either, is the
That's
thing.
exactly right.
If you look at Wayne Brady's family structure, how he's chosen to navigate this change in his life with his ex-wife, and you don't like that for your life, I love it.
You don't
I
have to
admire
do
it.
it.
I think it's the better way to do things. But no one is stopping you. If you want to hate I I wouldn't recommend it. But I mean, that's your prerogative, I suppose.
Speaking of hating ex-wives, I think the narrative around the Turkish guy.
Oh my God.
Came in at the shooting in the Olympics.
Yes.
All the narrative is like he got pissed off at his wife one day and started like practicing shooting in his backyard.
That's
I'm like,
true.
Is it? Love that.
I don't think that's true.
I hope not. That's kind of scary.
I read it and I was like, I don't know if that's true. I said, I know the narrative around it isn't maybe the truth, but the truth that he just is not necessarily a pro at this at all and just kind of came in off the cuff. Just no safety glasses.
Listen, I love him. I'm going to choose to believe that that's not true. I haven't seen it anywhere, and I'm choosing not to look if that's the case. He's a cat guy. I just feel like
I love it.
Because I actually love him. Like I saw him hand in pocket. Hair looks like it's not been brushed at all.
Looks like he rolled out of bed. Like they were like, "Hey, guy, it's your turn," and he's like, "Oh, what?"
Well, and that's exactly what Pommel Horse dude did, which made me laugh so hard. He was brought in to do one thing and one thing only.
Yep.
He
slept.
He slept
Masterclass,
and then just like casually took his fucking glasses off. So he's doing this shit blind, probably too.
Yeah. And the pommel horse, too, by the way, is like when you watch somebody do it, it's one
insane.
Of the weirdest things you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like, he just crushed it. He's just like,
dude.
He was so casual with it. He was one-handed at one point. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like Steve from Blue's Clues looking motherfucker, just like wilding out on the fucking.
I want him and Turkish uncle to go get. He's not grandpa age. Turkish uncle go get a beer together. They're so fucking funny. I did love all the commentary around because the Turkish guy is in his like early 50s, I think, and people were like, People are like, he's so Gen X. In the way he just kind of rolled up, kind of grungy, no proper equipment, and just did the fucking thing and got a silver medal.
Yeah.
It's like Gen X coded.
He's given that forgotten generation of Gen X.
So
whatever.
He could have been wearing a flannel and I would have been like, yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a chain wallet and Doc Martens.
I haven't seen a chain wallet in public in a long time.
I would invite you to come into my office.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not the place. I want to see a chain wallet. I love a chain wallet. I saw one on somebody today. It's Pride today, and so we had everybody out in all their glory. It was amazing. But I did see a girl with a chain wallet, and I was like,
it's
giving me old vibes.
It feels like Germany would embrace the chain wallet. I don't know why. I feel like that's very like something that probably never went away there.
It was wonderful. It was I was really sick this morning, so I didn't get to go out and do anything, unfortunately, but I took Rose out to go potty, so I got to see a few people out celebrating. It was awesome.
That's always nice.
Yeah. And I can hear everything from my house because it's like right there.
Well, it's also Fiesta Days in my little mountain town, which you remember from last year.
Yes.
It's bigger. It's like much bigger. We're gonna have a concert from Pam and Walt later tonight. So
who?
Pam and Walt. They're like a famous.
Obviously, Pam and Walt. You don't know Pam and Walt?
They play all the time at the La Sierra Mexican restaurant.
What? I need to know details. What do they look like? What kind of music is it? I need to picture this in my head. Is it Mexican? Is it a two-person mariachi band?
No.
With Pam and Walt?
No, I think that they play like covers.
The most Mexican names ever, by the way.
You know what? I love that for them.
Yeah, I do
honestly.
too. I do too. Just
you're going,
it's
aren't
wure.
You?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Obviously, gotta check out.
You gotta go support Pam and Walt.
Yeah,
we have to. Yeah, it's
wow.
It's part of our mountain town. Well, you guys ready to hop into some stories?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I can go first if you want.
Okie dokie.
So one guy told me that he had a credit card that gives 25 cents back per transaction. He uses self-checkout and does a separate transaction for each item.
Oh, wow.
So he gets 25 cents back per transaction. So he does every piece of thing that he gets.
He's like, bananas? Hey, now.
That's a level of patience I simply don't. I don't have that kind of patience.
That's some like punch drunk love shit when he like figures out how to do like the game the system and they're like, nobody's going to actually like cash out their items one at a time. And he's like, bet, motherfucker. I'm that motherfucker.
He also pays $400 a month in rent, despite making $120,000 a year as a private LMFT, which I don't know what that is. But I went to his house, it was infested with mice. He didn't have flooring, literally walking around on subfloor, and the whole house smelled horribly like animal feces. It was disgusting.
See,
he comes across as super put together and professional. It totally threw me off.
Because here's the thing, like people being frugal and wealthy or making a lot of money, I'm like, nah, whatever. Because that's honestly how a lot of people stay rich, is because they continue to make like very frugal decisions, even though they have a lot of money. But that's like a whole different level. That's like on that show. Did you ever watch Extreme Cheapskates on TLC?
Goodness.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
It's exactly where I'm just like, you're taking it to a level of like, you're willing to live in an unhealthy environment to not have to pay more in rent.
That doesn't even make sense.
You're taking it too far.
It's given rips the toilet paper into its
100%.
Buys double, but tears it down to one ply.
I did hear someone, or I did see that somebody shared something with us where it was like, my family, because we had that story, and they were like, my family reuses toilet paper. Let me show you how we do it. And I was like, I'm not watching this. I was like, I can't. My mental health is hanging on by a thread. This is the one thing that would just shove me right over the edge.
Also, like for me,
it's not for me.
Like the bidet has been a game changer, such a game changer. So we use a lot less toilet paper. But I'm a Cottonelle lady. I love the ridges.
Me too.
And I must don't skimp on that. You know what I mean?
You
There's
can't skimp on that.
I told you.
Worse than walking around with a dirty
feeling a little unclean.
asshole.
Feeling a little unclean.
Yeah. Or wearing your thong backwards.
Yes, that also.
Yeah, put those hands together and you're in a real dangerous situation.
You're a real problem.
Yeah. Okay, Cassie, I feel like you will appreciate this story.
Oh, great.
Sorry, I went on a date with someone and came out of the loo to find he had left. It wasn't the most flattering thing that's ever happened to me. Anyway, I got a text about half an hour later saying, I'm so sorry, my mother's taken very ill and I had to run. I'll call you in the week. I thought I'd better give him the benefit of the doubt, so waited for the call. It never came. I filed him under A for asshole and moved on. Anyway, about 6 weeks later, I ran into him. He was nice as pie. Hi, how are you? And I said in the most sarcastic tone I could muster, hi, how's your mother?
Oh.
She was dead.
Oh, no. No.
Can you fucking imagine? Like, you're like, this guy's such a piece of shit. He lied to me.
I can't imagine.
She actually is. She is.
Yeah, I didn't contact you because my mom died.
Actually, and been
dealing with that.
I've been dealing with my immense grief.
No.
Oh my
God. See, that's the shit that I would do. I would be like, foot in mouth. Fuck.
Dude, I keep thinking too, like randomly throughout the week of you should be dead by now.
No. It did remind me of that one as well. So fucked up.
Oh
so funny.
My God. Okay. Went with this chick to her company picnic. For some reason, I thought not eating and drinking 4 malt liquors was a great idea.
What?
I need to know the age. What? Because at some point you got to take responsibility for yourself. If you're 35,
also what company? Like that also.
You know what I mean? True. Fair.
I went to piss in the woods and passed out for a few hours in a blackberry bush.
Oh no!
They're like, where's your date?
I was bleeding from head to toe from the briars. The evening culminated with me standing on a table with a broken Old English 800 bottle in my hand, screaming to the band, I'm drunk tonight. Play John Denver, you bitch.
That I could see myself doing.
Drunk
John Denver, that's so specific and so funny. Like, I just really need to see, like, I need to hear Take Me Home Country Roads.
Oh my God. Needless to say, there wasn't a second date.
No, it was her company.
Yes.
Oh, the embarrassment!
Oh, no.
You brought someone.
The way
I don't know him immediately.
Yeah,
like immediately. I'm sorry.
Everyone I've talked to that whole night knows I don't know him. Oh Jesus! This guy was incredibly awkward. He showed up to a 5:30 p.m. tea wearing a suit, a fanny pack, bike glasses, and those barefoot shoes. He spent the whole time telling me about how much he hated his job. I cut the date short and he told me he was going for a 12-mile run in his suit and some kind of flex. It was just bizarre.
He's going for a run in his suit?
In his suit and toe shoes.
And his toe shoes.
Weird.
Oh,
those things give me
those things.
Such ick. I literally, on my list of icks, those toe shoes, I just... immediately.
Just imagine this guy stomping up in his like fucking icky bike or foot shoes.
You know what's better?
Bike glasses.
Though, like what's worse? The toe shoes, I get it. I also understand sometimes people have feet problems and that helps with them. It makes you feel better. Those shoes are better than what I saw on TikTok recently, which was like they're so committed to going barefoot as this couple. And you see this?
Yes.
And they're like so committed to going barefoot. They're like, we just think that the benefits of the grounding movement and being barefoot are so beneficial that
It's giving cult.
we're cutting the bottoms out of all of our shoes. They had an immense sneaker collection, expensive fucking shoes. They cut the bottoms so that they could go into places where you're not allowed to be barefoot. And people won't know that they're barefoot, that their soles are cut out of their shoes.
They're
I
gonna
don't
get
have time for this kind of weird shit.
They took a video of them walking around. They live in the city, first of all, which I don't think you get grounding
They're
benefits.
like going into fucking Target.
Sephora. They went into a Sephora barefoot. Their dirty ass
Disgusting.
feet from the city. Imagine like Los Angeles. You
No.
could not pay me to walk these
No.
streets.
That's how you get brain worms. Mhm.
You're gonna step.
That's honestly how you get a brain worm.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
You're gonna step.
You're
in
gonna step on a
shit
fucking hypodermic needle.
and
Yes.
needle. Yes.
Glass.
Anything like, and look, I get it. If I'm out somewhere where I like being barefoot in nature, I get it. I get the appeal. Walking around the city, and then you're taking your
These
dirty ass feet into Sephora.
No.
You stop it. Stop it right now.
No.
Okay. In high school, this girl was supposed to come over and watch some movies while my parents were gone. The night before, I set a couple movies to record on Cinemax. This is an old, when you had TiVo and you could like schedule something to start recording.
Oh, see, I thought we were scheduling it on our VCR. I thought that was that old.
Could be. I wasn't thinking about how some networks are loose with their timings. This is such a like millennial and earlier problem. How some networks are loose with their timing, so programs spill into other programs' time slots. Turns out there was some softcore porn before one of the movies I recorded, and of course, that was the one she chose to watch. I get set up on the couch with her, nervous as could be. I press play and hear moan after moan with the sound of extremely wet sex.
Oh, juicy.
We dated for almost 2 years.
Amazing.
Can you imagine? Like, you're like, I swear to God, I didn't mean to do that.
That was not what I recorded.
So I have a short story that is going to be, I think, Keegan's nightmare.
Oh no!
Absolute nightmare. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I met a guy to see a local comedy play. He was already being weird and uncomfortable when I picked him up. He was uncomfortably similar to Charlie in It's Always Sunny. Before the play began, he was obsessively trying to buy a glass of wine from the station outside of the theater, and even the sales lady looked not comfortable. Then during the play, he started heckling the actors.
No. I would distance myself from that person. I really would. That's so inappropriate.
No.
There was a scene where one actor fed another piece of another actor a piece of takeout food, and he said "hot" really loudly.
Oh my God. Shoot me.
Oh.
Shoot me.
He would answer questions out loud when the actors asked each other questions in the
I can't
dialogue.
believe he wasn't asked to leave.
What?
He also kicked the head of someone in front of us, by accident at least, and started an argument with
How
him.
fucked up was this person? Like, truly, like, this is like drunk person behavior, right?
But
Oh.
going to see a play and somebody starts talking back to the stage,
no.
I'm
No.
unzipping my skin
Totally.
and just
I'm out.
melting into the floor.
Get
They
me
would
out.
have to be asked to leave. I cannot imagine a situation in which this would be allowed to go on.
Right? When the play ended, I ran out of there and got in my car and drove off, leaving him downtown without a car. The guy texted me
Sorry about you.
asking why I had filed a police report on him later that night. I didn't, but I guess I looked so uncomfortable that someone else called the police.
Oh my
Oh no.
They're like, something nefarious
No.
is going on here. I don't trust it.
Oh,
It's that
no.
meme of that guy with the phone in his
It's
ear.
like,
Mhm.
Not today. Not on my watch.
It was somebody on stage. They were like, fuck this guy.
No, I'm calling the police immediately.
That's occasionally Karens are funny,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
situation, then.
Okay. So, all right. My mother thought it a grand idea to set me up with her guy friend's son, who was 4 years older than me. I was 17.
Ooh.
Oh,
He took me to
Mom.
Hardee's.
Hardee's.
My side
is that-
eyes.
Is
strong.
that?
It's Carl's Jr., but in the Midwest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's Rallies? Oh, Checkers.
Oh, Checkers. Yeah,
That's right.
That's what's up. Took me to Hardee's. Hardee's is not what's up. It's awful.
Yeah.
And proceeded to talk about how amazingly wonderful he was. In great detail, I learned about how great he was at Taekwondo, how smart he is. It was endless. He finally took me home after 3 hours
No,
at Hardee's.
At Hardee's.
Oh, God.
Look, and you guys, it's no secret how much I love Taco Bell. If I can avoid going inside
Mhm.
of any fast
100%.
food restaurant,
Mhm.
I
Any
will.
amount.
Sitting in a Hardee's for 3 hours.
I'll tell you the exception to this. I saw pictures the other day of old school McDonald's.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
you remember that? The
Yep.
fucking brown ashtrays, the
Yep.
fucking
Yeah.
the chairs that swiveled that were like the little
Yeah.
hamburgers.
Yeah, I also
yeah.
saw a video. Somewhere in California, there's a preserved '90s Taco Bell
Wow.
where it's all the like pastel,
yes.
and I was like,
Amazing.
that maybe I might
Yeah.
do that.
Maybe not 3
We've
hours
talked about it before though too.
Yeah.
I think like you can make a lot of money doing an old school Pizza Hut.
Yeah, and we have talked about that. And they
that
do
I
still
could do.
exist. Like my friend Sienna in Willard, home of Chapel Roan in Willard, Missouri. They still have a sit down,
Yeah.
old school.
I think
I don't
there's
know if
money
it has
in that.
the
Millennials are nostalgic as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
We'll spend money on
Yeah.
it. We don't have no
It's true.
kids.
Yeah, that's right.
We ain't
That's
got
right.
kids, so
Yeah.
we'll go do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Then he wouldn't leave. I finally had to fake fall asleep in my bed. And instead of leaving, the fucking fucker crawled into my bed next to me and went to sleep.
Honey.
Where
Fuck's
is your
sake.
mom? Where is your
My
mother?
mom checked on me the next morning, found him in there, but said nothing.
Mom, I'm side-eyeing this mother. I'm sorry, not to mom shame, but this is a 21-year-old
know.
with your 17-year-old daughter.
No, get the fuck out. It woke him up though, so he tried to go on the down low, wake me up by making noise, coughing, etc.
Get out.
Nope.
Get out.
Eyes glued shut, breathing still even. Get the fuck out, dude. Good grief. My mom laughed her ass off when I I was finally safe for me to emerge and tell her all about it. That ended her ever getting involved with me finding a boyfriend.
No, this
We
is
still
something you
refer
bring
to
up
that
to your
guy-
therapist.
Yeah.
I know.
Seriously.
We still refer to a guy trying to drown you in his wonderness as getting jerried.
Oh my God, Jerry. Oh
Ugh.
Ugh.
no. Okay, I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
All right. My date and I decided to drive out to the coast for an early evening picnic. We drove to a secret spot where the beach was down a narrow path on a giant cliff that opened up to a small sandy area. At first, all seemed well. We had some wine and talked about our lives while enjoying the beautiful view. Halfway through, I noticed something was off and found out he had secretly taken Robitussin and mixed it with his wine to really get the party started.
Oh, jeez.
What?
People that listen,
What?
like enjoy a glass of wine like an adult, but people that are like, you know what?
You know what this
I
could
gotta
use?
take this to
Up
an
a notch.
11.
Got to take it up a notch.
Cough syrup.
Yeah.
Oh
Whoa.
my God. That
dude.
is screaming for help.
Yeah. The tide was rolling in, the sun was setting, and he was completely out of his mind. Just leave me here, he kept laughing madly as the waves crashed closer and closer. I ended up carrying his limp 6'5" sad self up a giant cliff while racing
What?
the setting sunlight and the approaching high tide with zero cell reception.
What
Just
the
got him
fuck?
over her shoulder.
He's like,
just Just leave me here.
Just leave me.
I used my She-Hulk strength to get his sorry ass and all of our stuff up the cliff, which was pretty impressive. But needless to say, that was the last time we saw each other.
Yeah, no.
What?
You don't need a project. That sounds...
My
Wow.
God. Like, also,
Period.
yeah, take in your surroundings.
Yeah.
Like, look at where
Sure.
you are. Is this the appropriate place to get completely out of your mind fucked up? It's like we just climbed up a cliff.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Robitussin, it's just
That's
Sir,
it. Yeah,
get
that's a
help.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Get help.
There's a number somewhere you can call, I'm sure.
Ugh.
Okay. I went on a date with a girl from work. Had a good meal. It was spicy Indian food with wine. Went to the movies and watched Independence Day. Then I started to feel like shit.
Uh-huh.
Like a champ, I started to walk my date home, and then I just shit myself right there.
Oh.
Basically, watery brown
No
goop
preamble.
all down my leg
Nope.
and into the street. She was so mortified and just said, "I'll see you later." Thankfully, we're still friends to this day.
Wow. I was about to say she did not see him
Wow.
later, but I guess so.
No.
You know, the thing about that is, first of all, I love Indian food. Preface.
me too.
So good. But as soon as you said that, I was like, I know where this is headed. We've
Yeah.
done enough episodes for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to know.
Down your legs.
But I am like, the way that he wrote that, you didn't feel it coming at all.
Yeah.
It was just like, I mean, you felt like maybe your tum-tum was a little rumbly, but you weren't like, hey, I need to look for a bathroom. You just...
I've
Damn.
never been to a point where it's been like all of a sudden.
Right.
There have
you
been
know
times
there are
where
signs.
it's urgent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an urgency involved.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I typically have been pretty good where I'm like, okay, I know I have this much time to find a facility
Right,
with
right.
which to relieve this.
Mhm. Or get
it's
away from the
never been
person
like-
at least get away from the person. You can shit your pants in peace by yourself.
Wow.
Don't bring somebody else into this.
Just never been like making my way downtown and then just like unloaded myself. Has never happened. But poop always comes with fanfare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
An
you
announcement.
feel it. You feel it for sure.
Trumpets a
Yeah,
blaring.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, on that note, if you guys have any terrible date stories, if you just want to reach out and say hello, go to our one-stop shop of website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much.
Cheers.